Celebrating the magic of high school sports, Allen Media Group proudly presents the 2024 WIAA Football Championships, live from Camp Randall in Madison, Wisconsin. This WIAA sports exclusive is brought to you statewide by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, reminding you to look for the Proudly Wisconsin badge to know you're getting the best quality and supporting local dairy farms. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. A proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for over 50 years.
From Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Championship Friday continues with our Division II state championship. It's the undefeated Slinger Owls and the 11-2 Rice Lake Warriors ready to battle it out for the Division II championship. Welcome inside the stadium. Nick Tabbert here in the south end zone. Rice Lake, the defending Division III champions. We just saw that championship game decided, Notre Dame winning. Now Rice Lake trying to win in Division II. To set the stage for this Division II championship, we'll go upstairs now to Jay Wilson and Scott Nelson.
Thanks, Nick, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, Scott, you look at these two teams. Boy, they have been battle-tested in this tournament run, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. Most notably in the semifinal game, Slinger knocks off defending state champ Lake Geneva Badger. Rice Lake takes on West Appear, a tremendous West Appear team, and both of those were one-score games. So they know what it means to come into here and be tested and be ready to go for a big-time game. All
right, let's take a closer look at the two teams. First, the undefeated Slinger Owls. They come in 13-0.
Yeah, tremendous athletes over there. Slinger is a lot of fun to watch. They made it semifinals a couple years ago. They're hungry for this, right out of the North Shore Conference. A tremendous team that really gets after it. They're able to put up a ton of points, but defensively they're very sound. They're going to have to be today against a Rice Lake team that runs the option.
And a familiar place for Rice Lake, as Nick mentioned, Division III champions last year, now playing up in Division II.
Well, this is an edge like for Rice Lake. They're in a Division I conference, sort of like we just saw in the previous game with Catholic Memorial. They play a lot of big-time teams. They know what it takes to win and be successful at this. They have a couple guys in Lucas Peters, Jacob Coons, guys that are running that option extremely well. The fullback, number 37, Peters, is the guy that they really like to be their workhorse.
On both sides of the ball, too. Okay, Division II coming up, Slinger and Rice Lake. Now a word from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. And welcome back to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Division II final coming up. Slinger against Rice Lake. Now our keys of the game brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Well,
Scott, what do you got?
A couple things I want people to watch out here for this game. Slinger's defense needs to play sound. They're going against an option attack, and Rice Lake is very, very good at that. Typically when you go defense against an option attack, a linebacker takes the dive. You got an outside end quarterback to pitch, a defensive back to the pitch. They have to be really sound fundamentally to make sure all three phases aren't there. But this quarterback for Rice Lake and Coons does a tremendous job of pausing and waiting and being patient with that. On the flip side, it's game time experience, state experience for Rice Lake. They were here last year, they won it. Now they moved up to division, see what they can do here today. It's just understanding Camp Randall and the confines that you're in and how to play this game on a big-time game.
Let's check in with our sideline reporter for our Division II championship, Scott Emmerich.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Slinger head coach Bill Jacklin. He is a Slinger graduate, and he called this his dream job, leading Slinger down here at his state. This community means so much to him, guys. He's experienced some unfortunate tragedy over the last couple of years, losing his wife and his mother to cancer, so it means so much to him to win a state title for Slinger. Rice Lake, on the other hand, well, they picked up some motivation from last year's state broadcast when the announcers said the Warriors got lucky on 3 plays during last year's state championship ride. So on the ride home, guys, last year the team decided to make that their next t-shirt motto. Luck equals preparation plus opportunity. So a little word of advice to my colleagues up in the booth here today. Be careful what you say. It might end up on a t-shirt next year.
Well, the good news is people are listening, I guess.
Right, yeah.
No, we shall be very, very careful. Thanks for the heads up, Scott. Slinger won the toss, deferred, so it'll be Rice Lake on the return. And right up the middle it goes, and a good return. As that's Connor Durand, I believe. Yep, 18, Connor Durand getting Rice Lake's offense off to a good start.
Maybe if we make a comment like that, we get some NIL money out of it after selling those shirts, right?
Things have changed since you played in the 90s, haven't they,
sure
Scott?
have.
Wow. Okay, there's Jacob Coons, the senior quarterback for Rice Lake. He's got some weapons to work with.
Number 37, most notably Lucas Peters, over 1,000 yards rushing, 11 TDs or more, right? This is usually the stats we get are coming into the playoffs, but the tremendous option attack can be really fun to watch these guys go at it.
Coons 16 passing touchdowns, only 4 interceptions on the year, and here's a big run to start, and that's the big guy, Lucas Peters. Big gain.
Not only is the option attack hard to stop, but the way Rice Lake runs it, it's extremely downhill and fast. It's a quick handoff right up off the side, and the gap between the guard and tackle for Peters. Clear sailing. Linebackers were nowhere to be found. You got to play sound fundamental defense. Just watch Slinger try and settle in defensively here and trust their eyes without getting caught up in all the play action misdirection in the back end.
Peters, a first-team all-conference performer at running back and inside linebacker, so we're going to see a lot of him on defense too. And here's another big run. This one's into the secondary. It's Connor Durand this time.
You know this is a pretty balanced offense. You have Peters over 1,000 yards, Kuntz close to 1,000 yards, Durand close to 1,000 yards. So they got some guys that are able to get out in space and run. That offensive line right now for the Warriors is doing a tremendous job up front, just engaging on a block quick enough to make sure the running back can get by, and then to the second level they go.
33 yards on that run for Durand. After 15 from Peters. Rice Lake on the move in their opening drive. And this is the quarterback, Coons, keeping it, and he's bottled up after a short gain of maybe 2. Rice Lake in the white uniforms with the gold and blue trim, and Slinger in the all red with the blue trim. That's done alphabetically. This year, the first team alphabetically is in white, and that's Rice Lake, just ahead of Slinger on the alphabet. That's how they determine the uniform colors for all of this year. Next year, it'll flip the other way. The second team alphabetically will wear white. Okay, here's Rice Lake, 2nd and 8. And another big running play is going to net a first down as Durand got that one. Connor Durand last year in the Division III state championship game rushed for 73 yards and a touchdown, had 2 receptions for 76 yards and another touchdown, and he's going to play football at UW Eau Claire. The Warriors have pushed it all the way to the Slinger 12. First down. Coons, right up the middle, touchdown, Rice Lake. How's that for an opening drive, Scott?
Well, I think they sent a message. This is going to be physical, downhill type of football right at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line, again, does a tremendous job of engaging, knowing where the play is and aligning their bodies in position where they need to. And then, as we talked in the open, Coons does a great job of being patient. He can either hand the ball off, he can pull it, he can get to the outside and pitch it, or he can tuck it and run. That time he made the right decision for 6.
That scoring drive went 67 yards, took only a minute 53. Rice Lake will go for 2. Peters. He's in. 2-point conversion successful. Rice Lake takes the opening kickoff and drives it home with a 2-point conversion, 8-0. Now a word from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Well, if you're just joining us, you missed a beautiful drive by the Rice Lake offense as they marched 67 yards in just 5 plays.
Well, yesterday, obviously, the weather was very different than today. We talked a ton about ball security. Today, the drive from Rice Lake, ball security. No passes. Not worried about throwing it downfield. 5 runs and a score to start this game off the bang.
Jacob Coons with the 12-yard run, and then Lucas Peters punched it in for the 2-point conversion. This is Jack Larson who will kick it away to the Slinger Owls. Kobe Hendricks, Santos Rodriguez, their usual kick returners, and that's a kick out of bounds, and that's not what you're looking for if you're Rice Lake.
No, I try and keep it in, obviously, with the boundary, avoid the penalty. Simple for Slinger now just to reset, come out on offense, and see if they can answer that quick score by the Warriors.
That's Gary Gundert from Greendale, our head official. The other officials are Anthony Sibley from Greenfield, Mike Sharber from Milwaukee, Michael Gundert from Milwaukee, and Lee Klashinsky from Greenfield. They're in control of this Division II championship as you look at Michael Thiede leading the Slinger offense from the quarterback position.
Quarterback that the coaches really like, a heads-up player, smart player, can read defenses, and now it's just a matter of settling the other 10 guys around him to make sure they're all on the same page.
Thiede can run it too. He's rushed for 278 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he'll get the first carry here. And he's tackled pretty well by Tanner Koltumsky for Rice Lake. Second down coming up.
A little feeling out process here, right, to start the game both ways. Rice Lake just smash mouth football, running it right down your throat. Slinger coming out just trying to see what the defense will give them. How do these defenses adjust over the course of the game will be interesting to watch.
This is Slinger's third trip to the state football finals. Runners up in 1997. They won the state title in 98. So it's their first trip to a state football final in 26 years. And boy, are they excited about it in Slinger. 2nd and 4. Handoff to Santos Rodriguez, and he bursts into the second level and gets a first down for the Owls.
Nice job up front by the offensive line. They got some big boys up front there too. I will tell you, they do a great job of engaging blocks and driving, forcing guys to the ground. It makes it really easy as a running back to locate the hole and hit it fast like they did there to create the first down.
Santos Rodriguez, second team all-conference. Bill Jacklin says he is a dynamic runner, and we saw a flash of that there. 1st and 10, Slinger there on the move in their first possession. Rodriguez finds the going a little tougher this time, but gets into Rice Lake territory after a gain of about 2.
I know the fans like seeing that as a defensive stop for the Warriors, but it's important for the offense to keep moving and pushing and getting positive yards every play. As you see some of the Rice Lake Warriors, Peters, who we saw on offense carry the ball a couple times, their leading tackler, number of guys in there that can really make things happen. Trying to create turnovers as well is going to be important. Zach Orr, their leading interception leader right now on this Rice Lake team, see if they can come up with something to put the ball in the air.
2nd and 8, Owls from Rice Lake territory at the 49. Thiede, the left-hander, throws his first pass complete, and slipping a tackle there for the moment is Lucas San, their leading receiver, his 34th catch on the year. The Slinger drive moves the sticks again.
Rice Lake just in some zone coverage over the top, and San does a tremendous job of finding the hole, allowing his quarterback to read that, understand what type of defense they have, and sits in the pocket where he's able to deliver the strike. Thiede did a great job of being patient and throwing the ball on time.
11-yard gain. How many left-handed passes did you face in your day?
In all my day?
Yeah.
Probably like 2.
Is that, well, after this pass, that's another completion to San. Boy, they've got a connection going. Is that a complication for a defense? You don't see it very often?
Well, it changes the side. Usually if it's a right-handed quarterback, you tend to lean towards the left side of the formation, or defensive left side, right side offense. The ball comes out a little bit differently. The strength of the formations are a little bit different. The hardest part is just being able to adjust to that early. But once you settle into the game, you don't really notice that a whole lot. But it does change the normal strength of a formation for you.
2nd and 3. That was a 7-yard gain to San on his second catch of the day. Back to Rodriguez again, right up the hash mark, and he goes inside the 20. First down, Owls.
No hesitation on that handoff. He gets the football. He goes downhill in a hurry. Again, a great job up front by those offensive linemen, getting past the second level, expecting contact and protecting the football. But both these teams have shown the ability to open up some gaps straight up the gut. Running backs have performed well.
Grant Paholke on the tackle for Rice Lake, but not before Santos Rodriguez got 13. First down, Owls. Thede has some blocking, gets to the 10. Well, our last state championship game, the final was Notre Dame 49, Catholic Memorial 28. Do you have the sense that we might get those numbers so far here?
Setting up that way right now, right? With Thede recognizing he has the option to either hand it off, and he's reading the linebacker as he comes. If he flows towards the running back, he pulls it and runs. Does a great job of slipping on the outside edge to get around the corner and set up a second and short.
Tanner Koltunski on the tackle, but not before Thede got 8. Second and 2. Owls trying to respond to an opening drive touchdown by Rice Lake. Here's Rodriguez. He stood up at about the 7 as Grant Paholke led the charge for the Warriors defense.
Nice job by Caden Greshel, number 78 that was. My mistake. Chase Jacklin pulling from his guard position, coming around the edge and sealing a block. Running back just has to be patient enough. It's a strange concept. You have to be patient, but you have to be moving fast to be able to adjust to those defenders.
First and goal, Slinger. Rodriguez again. Rodriguez at the 2, the 1.5-yard line for the senior running back. He has 11 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he's looking for number 12 here.
And here, as you get down inside the red zone, it's just man on man, and it's desire against desire. Right now, that offensive line is owning the line of scrimmage. From the 1-yard line, you have to be hungry as an offensive lineman. Drive that, reset the line of scrimmage into the end zone, and you're looking at 6 points.
Oh, the tush push. And Thede, they say he's in, waiting for the signal, and he is. Touchdown, Slinger. What do you call that? The Slinger slide?
Whatever you want to call it, right?
It works.
Really good job of walling people down on the left side of the line of scrimmage, getting bodies on the ground. The running back does a tremendous job of keeping his feet. When the ball carrier is able to do that, especially as a quarterback, right? You want to protect him, but as big as he is, Thede lines up at 6'2" and 180 pounds. That's a lot of body coming at you.
Going for 2, direct snap to Kobe Hendricks, and he walks in to tie the game at 8. What a start for both offenses. They march down the field and get to 8-8. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. The 2024 WIAA Football Championships are brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. A proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for over 50 years. Venerable Camp Randall Stadium, built in 1917. They actually had a WIAA state track meet here back in the day once.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Back before things were remodeled a little bit, I guess.
A tad, and the remodeling continues, yes. It's been the home of the WIAA State Football Final since 1982. There's a great look at that ball on the tee, ready to be booted by Cole Martin, and we are underway as Rice Lake will try to get a return and keep their offense cranked up, and it's another good return, just nothing fancy. Up he goes up the middle, and that's Tanner Koltunski with a nice effort.
Koltunski does a great job of tucking him, catching the ball, and then you just watch this wall of bodies in front of him. They're just looking for the first threat. He's patient, hiding behind that wall. They do a great job of blocking for him. He slips through, and nice big return again. Nice 30-yard return.
So second time the Rice Lake drive starts at the 35. Coons hasn't thrown a pass yet. All 5 runs on that first touchdown scoring drive. This is up the middle with Lucas Peters, and going's a little tough there as the interior of the Slinger defense slows down number 37.
Yeah, and we have coaches just one level above us here in the press box. There's probably 2 or 3 from each team that are looking at different things offensively and defensively. How do we need to adjust? Where are they gashing us? Where do we need to move, make adjustments? Do we need to put, instead of 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen? All that communication from the top of the press box to the sideline.
2nd and 7. You saw some of the key members of that Slinger defense. again to Peters. This time he squirts out to the 45. That's going to be very close to a first down. And he's got it. Chase Leverance on the tackle. You saw two guys named Caden, K-A-I-D-E-N, but they're pronounced differently. Caden Walworth is actually Kaiden Walworth, and Caden Reiner is in fact pronounced Caden.
That's probably just for you and I to get messed up.
Right? 1st and 10, Rice Lake. This time they fake it to Peters and come back with Durand, and he's going to get to the midfield stripe. Caden Reiner among their tacklers for Slinger, along with Caleb Burkle, their cornerback.
And here's kind of where the wing tee, the option, whatever formation you want to call it, right? They're running misdirection up the middle. Quarterback's kept it a number of times. Fullback gets it. This time they fake that. They bring it around. Basically a counter play coming to the backside for a nice 5-yard gain.
Coons backs off, gets some signals from the side. Plenty of time to run the play. Now he'll split his receiver a little wider. That's Evan Strand out to the left. This time Peters gets it right up the middle, and he's going to be a couple yards short of a first down. 3rd down coming up. Rice Lake's 9th trip to the state football finals. They've won 3 state titles, 1979, 2017, and of course last year in Division III, 2023. They also have been moving conferences. They were in the Big Rivers, then they went to the Middle Border for 2 years. Now they're back in the Big Rivers.
Sure, comfortable being back home.
Yeah.
Right? Big Rivers Conference.
Crowd rises to its feet on this big 3rd down play early. Peters has the first down and more. Donovan Hepner wrestled him to the ground, but not before Lucas Peters gets a fresh set of down.
And I think this is what the coaching staff likes about Peters is he gets the football, he runs really aggressive downhill, but the finish here, lowering the shoulder pads, keeping the legs moving, and driving forward for an extra 2 yards. He's hungry for yardage, hungry for a first down, and they rely on him an awful lot through the course of this season, and he's come up big in multiple different situations.
Kaiden Walworth also in on the tackle for Slinger. Peters has now rushed 5 times for 28 yards. Durand 3 for 43, so the Warriors' ground game is working early. Here's Coons keeping. Coons slipping a tackle. He's inside the 30 on a great run by the Warriors quarterback.
Well, they've been running up the middle. They've brought in an end around, a wing around, and this time the quarterback, again, reads it. Coons does a tremendous job of being able to understand what's in front of him. He pulls it at the last minute. He's reading the guy in the end of the line of scrimmage. If he crashes down, he's going to pull it, run, and he always has the option to pass, or excuse me, to pitch. I'm not sure that we'll see him pitch very often just watching this young man run.
Still haven't seen him throw a pass either.
Haven't needed to.
Yeah, right. 1st and 10, down to the 27. Back it comes the other way. Here's Durand slipping through. That's going to be another Rice Lake first down, I believe. Yep. Okay, Scott, you're a defensive guy. If you're the Slinger defensive coordinator, what are you going to tell your guys?
Well, yeah, you got to get a low pad level. You got to maintain gaps and hold in there. And then you just have to make sure the offensive line can't get to the second level of linebackers, which means your D linemen have to engage. Your linebackers have to read. If you're going to blitz like we saw in this last play, that's got to be coming up towards the fullback. Then your defensive end has to take the quarterback to the pitch, and you need a defensive back coming from out to the pitch, and so you have all 3 phases covered. But when one guy gets blocked, it makes it awfully hard defensively.
1st and 10 at the 17. Peters inside the 10 to the 9. Last week against West Appear in that tough match, Lucas Peters, 88 rushing yards and a couple of touchdowns, including a 77-yard run. Dan Hill, the head coach, says he's an explosive kid, and he's also the quarterback of the defense. What a valuable guy. 37 is Lucas Peters. 2nd and 2 from the 9. This is Durand to the 5.
A little different design here now with this one where Durand comes around the edge, but instead of Peters faking a handoff going on the backside, he goes to the front side as a lead blocker. As we wind down here the end of the first quarter with what appears to be a potential shootout with the way these teams are moving the football.
It's going to be 1st and goal when we come back for the second quarter. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. WIAA football championships are brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, reminding you to look for the Proudly Wisconsin badge to know you're getting the best quality and supporting local dairy farms. Yeah, those Rice Lake fans are jumping around. Oh, why not?
I would be too. The way your team started, driving, looking to punch another one in.
There's Dan Hill in his 19th season at Rice Lake. He played college football, a defensive back at St. Cloud State. He learned under the wing of Laverne Pottinger, the great Rice Lake coach. And he learned well. 1st and goal from the 5 to start the second quarter. Coons will keep. And he runs into James Constantino.
You asked me before, like, how do you stop this defensively? What Constantino does here, number 11, he engages on the block, but he slips to the top side, which means to the right side defensively, and able to shed that block and bring down the ball carrier. Again, it's leverage, right? And being able to fight through leverage and gain position, and he did a great job right there.
Gain of 1, 2nd and goal from the 4. Peters. And stretching and in. Touchdown. Lucas Peters from 4 yards out. Touchdown, Rice Lake. Another touchdown drive without a pass.
And I don't think we'll see too many passes the way they've been able to move the football, just moving the chains by running the football. And Peters, you just see the leverage and the desire to get into the end zone. A strong, powerful runner. He's not super big. He's 5'10", but packs a punch at 200 pounds, which means once he's down low, it's really hard to prevent him from pushing forward.
Again, the Warriors will go for 2. This time, Coons is under center. He has Peters behind him. Oh, there's going to be a pass. And it's going to be complete. That's Evan Strand with a 2-point passing conversion. So here's the touchdown.
Great job of the offensive lineman sealing the nose guard and the defensive tackle. Another lineman comes through to get to the linebacker, and pure effort by Peters. And here's a 2-point. You can't fall asleep defensively, assuming it's going to be run. Again, they run a little misdirection. They bring that counter look back, and then it's an easy pitch and catch to the end zone. 11 plays, 65 yards. Tremendous job. Peters now 7 carries, 44 yards on the day, and a touchdown. Kuntz has the other touchdown and 2 successful 2-point tries.
But all that successful running, I mean, how do you think to stop that and stop a pass like that? I mean,
right.
Well, that's hands full.
They don't pass very much, right? So you kind of lull the defense to sleep, and that's one situation where you got to be ready for that particular situation. And again, those are coaching points that happen now on the Slinger sideline. Fellas, we got to communicate. You got to do your job. You got to know what your assignment is first. Then you got to go and execute it no matter what the play is. You can't just assume run. You have to be prepared. If you're in the secondary and you're in coverage, you better be going full bore out on that, because stuff like that's going to happen.
11 plays, 65 yards, 5 minutes and 46 seconds to drive. We've had 3 possessions. We've had 3 touchdowns.
And we've had 3 2-point conversions.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't hear that very often.
Wow. By the way, compared to yesterday, the weather is like balmy. It's 44 degrees at kickoff with still a breeze northwest at 13, and I think the wind might have got some of that kick and pushed it a little bit out of bounds too. Another kick out of bounds. Second one today.
It's one thing to try and do placement. It's one thing to try and kick the ball to a certain place or in the corner. It's another thing to kick it out of bounds. So again, just settle your kicker down, get him into understanding what you want him to do for your coverage unit to get down the field.
Bill Jacquelin's in his 14th season as Slinger's head coach. He's been coaching football for 30 years. Grew up in Slinger, a graduate of Slinger High School in 1988. Head coach since 2010. Before that, he was the defensive coordinator at Slinger. He also coaches the Slinger Outdoors Club fishing team. So Guess what he does in his spare time?
A lot of field trips.
Oh, boy. 1st and 10. Here comes Slinger trying to answer again offensively. That was the quarterback, Thede, with the first carry.
It's interesting when you watch coaches, right? In Jacklin here, eyes are trained. He's looking at certain things. He's making sure that his guys are in position. Then he's communicating to his coaches, allowing his staff to communicate to the players. But they're analyzing all the time, trying to see different things. And coaches watch games very differently than the average fan does. So it's fun to watch them on camera that way with their eyes trained on certain looks.
26 years ago, the last time Slinger made it here, Bill Jacklin was coaching 7th grade football. He's
worked
come
his
along.
way up the ladder.
There you go. Thede throwing, nearly intercepted. Ooh, that was in and out of the hands of Connor Durand. The intended receiver was Braden Schnorenberg, and he took a shot.
Took a big hit at the end there. Watch the Slinger fans wanting a targeting call. We'll see what we get here. Squared him up nice. Eyes were up and didn't drop the head, didn't lunge at him. Separated the man from the football. I think that was a great play.
Yeah, Pat Miles looked at us and said, nope, that's a good one.
I'm liking Pat more and more when we do this.
Boy, he's a valuable resource, isn't he?
Especially when it airs in the side of a defensive back. That's always a good thing.
He knows you're here, Scott. He knows. All right, 3rd and 6 for Slinger, where we have our first defensive stop of the day. They send Hendricks out wide left. Thede throwing, completing. Santos Rodriguez out of the backfield. First down, Slinger.
We saw a motion back out of the backfield, made it trips to the left side of the offense. What Rice Lake did is he brought a safety high over the top. It's man-on-man coverage on the backside, and he's just able to slip outside the defensive back. Does a great job of getting outside of Peters, who just kind of lost him as he turned the corner, and a great throw and catch. Too bad he didn't stay on his feet. That could have been 6.
23-yard pickup. Santos will take a breather. 1st and 10. Slinger on the move at the 38. This is Kobe Hendricks with the carry, and he slips forward to the 31.
Between these 2 running backs and 2 quarterbacks, 2 guys from each side of the field here, they're running hard. I mean, they are getting low pad level. The offensive line is creating some holes for them to slip through. These guys are running with purpose. Young running backs and young players that watch this as you grow up, right? That's the leverage we talk about, in whether it's engaging a block or running the football. It's about gaining those yards.
Both of these teams can score for the Owls.
Looks like number 63 on the backside, coming from the right side of our screener, gets down the line of scrimmage, does a great job of not looping around. Maxon Tomish taught well, right? Instead of looping, get down the line of scrimmage. You're coming from the backside to make a big play from behind.
3rd and 2. Now the Owls got a big 3rd down conversion a couple of plays ago. Let's see if they can do it again. This is going to be Hendricks to the outside, and he gets to the numbers to the 20. They convert again on 3rd down.
Faking the handoff up front. The guy that really helps make this play is number 1, Braden Schnorenberg. You see the block at the last second on the screen there. Does a tremendous job of sealing that outside linebacker, defensive back, allowing his quarterback to turn the corner for the first down.
Lucas Peters on the tackle, but not before Hendricks got another first down to the 20. Clock rolling, 8:20 left, second quarter. Now they come to the right side, and boy, stopped there by Connor Durand as he got Hendricks.
It's a really hard concept for kids to understand, especially in high school, but when you watch Durand come up here, he continues to flow and get downhill, closing green space between him and the running back and not allowing for a cut either right or left. Closes that gap, closes that green space, and makes a big-time tackle.
Loss on the play, 2nd and 10. I'm making no gain on the play, 2nd and 10 from the 20. Thede throwing over the middle. Complete. What a catch in traffic by Schnorenberg. He's not going to get in the end zone. The whistle stops play. Ball came loose, but they whistle it dead. Wow, what a needle threader that was by Thiede to Schnorenberg to the 1.
Well, when he first released that pass, Jay, I thought that was trouble. He's looking down the middle. He stares off to his left, come back to his right. And a great job of hitting at the line or the goal line, and then guys pushing back, but his forward progress was stopped. Official blew the whistle, and the ball's out.
You know what that looked like? That looked like Steve Young to Terrell Owens that one time with the lefty throwing into three guys, right?
Trust in the arm, or trust in your guy's going to go get it.
Inside the 1. Hendricks kept pushing forward. Touchdown, Slinger! Kobe Hendricks just kept the feet moving, and it paid off.
Well, and people might wonder why wasn't the whistle blowing here, because the movement never really stopped to the pile. He continued to drive. There was continuing to fight, and you saw progress being made, which is why the officials didn't blow the whistle.
Went right behind big Chase Jacklin on that offensive line, 78.
Well, if you're the head coach,
all right, Slinger needs to go for 2 to tie it. Here's Hendricks. Ooh, I think he's going to be short. Yeah, 2-point try. Comes up a half-yard short. So Rice Lake maintains the lead at 16-14. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Rice Lake still up 2. It's been all offense except for this 2-point conversion that Rice Lake's defense stopped.
Well, Jay, there's a little penetration first by number 18, Connor Duran, and then number 47, Jack Larson, gets in and makes first contact. 55, Devin Neindorf comes and finishes off again from the backside. These guys did a tremendous job of getting off blocks and penetration behind the line of scrimmage, which never allowed any sort of momentum towards the goal line.
Cole Martin kicks off, and this time he does a little pooch kick. It's taken at the 30. That's Jack Larson on the return. He'll gain a couple of yards. Right at halftime, we'll talk with Tom Shafransky, the WI assistant director, the tournament manager for football on the state of football in Wisconsin. Boy, we get to Friday afternoon. You know what Shafransky's thinking. How fast can I get to my deer stand after that Division I final? He gets deer every year.
Yeah. Maybe we should go with him.
Well, he's got it all macked out. We've had 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. The last drive was 9 plays, 65 yards. Ran 4:18 off the clock.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, this is the game to watch.
Boy, no kidding, huh? Friday's been offensive fun days so far here at Camp Randall. Boy, there's some great movement with the ball. Great fakes. Connor Durant ended up with it, and he's going to get a first down on first down. Let's take a look from the Slinger end on this play.
So this is all the movement and things that defensive sees, right? They fake a handoff. They bring a counter back around the outside, and the quarterback's just reading one guy, understanding where he needs to give the football. Makes it really hard if you don't train your eyes. Play your one position, play your one fundamental. Understand you can't get crossed up with all that play action and misdirection to the backside.
From the 42. They go to Durand again. He was the tail of the I formation there. And leading the block of Lucas Peters, Durand gets a modest gain of 5 yards. I say modest. I mean,
right.
5's okay on first down, but boy, we've had so many big gains.
Well, and as hard as Peters has been running, Durand's leading the team in rushing. He's got 7 carries for 67 yards. Peterson is at 7 carries for 44 yards. So nice weapons to have as running backs in the backside.
2nd and 5. Clock down to 5:45 before halftime. Peters falls forward just short of the 50. By the way, Slinger is a village in Washington County. That's on the eastern side of Wisconsin, just north of Milwaukee. Ever been to the Slinger Speedway?
I have not, but I've heard about
it. The big Slinger Nationals there. It's called the world's fastest quarter-mile paved oval.
We should go this next year.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Rice Lake is in Barron County, northwest Wisconsin, about 50 miles northwest of Chippewa Falls. Guess what? There actually is a Rice Lake. Guess what they grew around the lake?
I'm guessing rice.
Wild rice back in the day. Oh,
boy, you set that up nice.
Nothing gets
softball
by you, I tell you. 3rd and 3, Rice Lake. Peters, tough running, will get a fresh set of downs for the Warriors.
Fun to watch that young man run. He's down on the ground. He's still moving his legs, trying to slide on, get whatever extra few inches that he can before the officials spot the football. These guys love playing football, you can tell by the way they banded together and they're working together. It's really fun to watch on both sides.
How about some love for the guys up front for Rice Lake? The starters up front in the offensive line: Fisher Kunish, Jarek Shatley, Cale Gago, Titan Hoyen, and Devin Neindorf. They are opening some holes. And here's another one. Big gain for Jacob Coons. He lost the ball. Oh boy, Coons very slow to get up. Look out. A key player in that Rice Lake offense grabbing his left leg. So while they attend to Jacob Coons, we'll take a break. That was a 30-yard run, by the way. Now a word from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. That's Rice Lake quarterback Jacob Coons, who took a shot to the left leg. He needed help getting off the field, so he is out for the foreseeable future. The new quarterback is Grant Paholke, who's the inside linebacker on the Rice Lake defense. But it did not look positive for Jacob Coons, and he is on the sideline being attended to. So, next man up, Grant Paholke.
Well, this is where you need your team to rally around you, right? With a big-time player going down, one of the workhorses and leader of this team. Guys just need to settle in and still go to work no matter who's back there, but try and fight and execute to the best effort that you got for your teammate that went down.
Well, the strategy stays the same. Give it to Lucas Peters, and he gets pretty good yardage, about 6, 3rd and short for the Warriors.
Well, between Peters and Duran, they're going to have to shoulder the load of that run game, right? I don't know how much we'll see the quarterback keep here or option. A lot of it's probably going to be handoffs and counter coming back and forth. But Paholke's obviously been in a situation before where they practiced it as a backup quarterback. So this is just a big-time game to be thrown into this situation.
Hey, nobody expects him to throw. You know what that means?
What?
Dial it up. Not this time. And look at that. Paholke. He's going to score. Well, welcome to the game on offense, Grant Paholke.
Well, the coaches must be listening to me because I said he's probably not going to run the football very much, and obviously I was wrong with that one.
Boy, look at, he carried Kaiden Walworth into the end zone.
That'll be close. I don't know if we get another shot of that guy if his knee was down right before the ball covered or crossed the goal line or not.
Well, there you see him consoling Jacob Coons. As disappointed as Coons must be, he's pretty happy for his understudy, Grant Paholke, the quarterback. And before the 2-point conversion is tried, we're going to have a timeout, Rice Lake.
That might give the guys upstairs a chance to review this. We'll see if his knee comes down before the ball crosses the plane. Look at that ball security, just hanging on 2 hands, knees down there.
I don't know. I think he's in.
Yeah, from that angle, it looked like he was in.
Well, it's punter's days off at Camp Randall.
Right.
We're not going to need you today if you're a punter. Holy smokes.
Sometimes those are the best days for those guys. How'd you do today? Great. I didn't have one bad punt.
Punting yesterday when it was snowing and blowing about 25 miles an hour. That wasn't good. Here's another look at that last touchdown. Ooh.
Knee is down right there, right before the plane.
Oh, man. Great look.
Great job by the camera guys out there. We appreciate that.
(22-14), 2-point try. Paholke will pitch it to the outside to Duran. Gets a block from Kotunski and scores for 2. Well, one thing about the flex bone offense, if you got receivers that block, it works a whole lot better. And that time, Tanner Kotunski made a key block to spring Duran to make it 24-14. And look at that, boy. Grandpa Holke, he just walks into the offense and keeps the drive going and scores and gets 2 points on top of it.
Well, you talk next man up. Obviously, you can tell by the effort on his pitch there that he's been in that situation. They practiced that a ton. They're confident in him or they won't put him in there. Great job of execution getting down there. Again, I think I go back to that play where we saw the replay. He was down before the ball crossed the plane. Obviously, the officials didn't agree to that. Another 2-point conversion.
All right, now time for the Rural Road to State, brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. We mentioned that Road to State a little earlier, and it was a rough one.
Yeah, West De Pere was a really good game last week in the semifinals. Another one, you see Monona Grove was a 1-point game. Monona Grove had the lead a couple different times in that game where Rice Lake had to come from behind. So they've been battle tested. They understand what lies ahead. They've been in the playoffs a number of years. They won the state title last year in D3. So all these players have that experience of how to capitalize an opportunity.
Well, in that West De Pere game, we were watching that online. They, in the final 30 seconds, they made a goal line stand against West De Pere that was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, West De Pere is really good.
Yeah. Okay, now Slinger trying to respond, and the return was by Santos Rodriguez, who's had a big day rushing for the Owls, and again, pretty good starting field position at the 35.
Well, we'll see if we get another touchdown drive here out of the Owls.
Yeah.
2:44 is left in the half here, though. It'd be a little more sense of urgency this time.
Right. They've got 3 timeouts to the Owls. Champions of the North Shore Conference. They went undefeated in the conference play. 7-0 this year. All right, 1st and 10 for the Owls. And Santos Rodriguez gets the carry there. 76, Connor Carr, the big nose tackle for Rice Lake on the stop. He's 6'1", 295, and only a sophomore.
Slinger's results through the course of the season, they ended up playing Badger twice. The first time they played him 35-33, and then in the semis 35-28. And then against Homestead, who's got a really good team as well. That was a tight contest as well, 22-21. So it's not like they're unfamiliar with these big-time games and tight scores.
Thede, he's going deep. Has a man. What a catch! Lucas Son sprawls out to make the reception. What a throw, what a catch.
Great protection up front by the offensive line with a quarterback that trusts those guys. Steps and throws a perfect ball. A lot of air underneath, allows his receiver to run. Best thing that Son did there was continue to run until he had to stick his hands out the last second to make that reception. A lot of times guys run with the hands out, they slow down. He kept running full speed until the very last second.
37 yards on the play. Lucas Son started playing fullback a year and a half ago, but boy, he has developed into a fantastic receiver. Looking again to throw, and that was for Santos Rodriguez, and yeah, he got his hands under it, made the catch.
Little zone coverage in the back end by Rice Lake, passing off a route from the corner to the safety. If he hits Rodriguez, Santos Rodriguez a little bit sooner, he might be able to turn upfield, but comes down, knee down, inbounds. They decide to take a timeout, regroup.
Okay, so that's the first timeout by the Slinger Owls. Oh boy, what a big score this would be before half. Slinger, you remember, won the toss deferred, so the Owls could double up here in the start of the second half.
Here's that play we're talking about. He hits him on release just on the outside edge a little bit sooner. He might have a chance to turn up and make a guy miss. Rodriguez is coached by former Wisconsin player Tony Spaeth, 4th-year coaching running backs over at Slinger. Good to see him back out in the confines of Camp Randall.
Bill Jacklin says this is really the first time he's 2 platooning. A very balanced offense, and for sure has worked out well for him. Yeah, they punch it in here. It's going to be real interesting. 2nd and 2. Thede throwing. Look out. And a flag comes in. He was looking for Braden Schnorenberg, and he had a collision with the defensive back. I think that was Duran. And that's going to be pretty clear interference.
I think the defensive back might have been Zach Orr, Jay, just coming up from behind, and that's when he knew right away when he broke. He was seeing the football, trying to go for the interception. Instead, runs right into the receiver.
1 not 18, Zor the cornerback, or the cornerback.
This way. Signal the press box.
Pass interference on White. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Here we go.
Right here, you'll see Orr coming right through him. He's trying to make a break. I'm not sure if he saw the receiver there or not, or he just mistimed his collision. Sometimes you got to throw it up, and you get a chance and an opportunity for an interference call that way. Certainly helped out with the change, but first and goal from the 9.
Plenty of time left. 1:11. Thede keeps it. Stood up by Koltonski, leading the defensive charge for Rice Lake.
Little sense of urgency with the time, but you're now clicking under a minute. You're inside the 10-yard line right now, sitting at the 7. Sense of urgency, but controlled. You don't have to rush at this point.
You don't want to give Rice Lake too much time on the clock either to make a counter. Second and goal from the 7 for Slinger. This is Hendricks. Hendricks pushes forward to about the 2. Clock stops, 27 seconds left in the half. It'll be third and goal. Now they'll mark him at about the 2.5, close to the 3.
Off the left side of your screen is, I think it's number 11, Will Svensson, number 1, Zach Orr, again, doing a great job of bodying off the wide receiver blocking, and it forces a little indecision from the running back getting to the edge, cut back in. That's where all the pursuit was coming from. Really good job of holding the outside edge by him.
Our state champion so far in Division 7, Edgar won the 9th in school history yesterday. Division 6, that went to Lomira yesterday. And we're going to dial up the scoreboard for you to see exactly how things have developed here. Edgar in Division 7, that was a 19-0 final as the Wildcats won another one with Jerry Sins as the helm. And there you see the Lomira win. The Lions finished 12-2 in a state championship. Stratford, undefeated, 14-0, 10th state title in school history. And then Racine St. Catharines last night beat Baldwin Woodville in a thriller. Okay, here we go. Slinger, third and goal from the 2. And nothing doing there. That was Rodriguez stacked up. Lucas Peters for Rice Lake.
Peters does a tremendous job off the right side of the offensive line, getting around blocks, and the first guy to meet Rodriguez in the backfield and packed a punch. You'll see from the left side of your screen, he's coming in, shoots the gap, does a really good job of squaring it up, shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. A nice good thud up tackle, initial contact, and then his defensive teammates come in, help finish it off. Really well done.
Wow, that's a lot of white and yellow, isn't it?
That is.
Oof.
Too much if your guy's in red.
Okay, so clock now 21 seconds as Slinger takes its final time out of the half. It'll be fourth and goal from the 3. We've noticed that Rice Lake has not tried to kick extra points. Field goals on the year. They have had 2 guys make field goals. Will Johnson has made 2. Jack Larson has made 1, but they don't go that route very often. So this is fourth and goal. We're going for it for Slinger.
Well, and this is one hopefully where you got some play action and misdirection going on, because things happen really fast inside the 5-yard line, even the 10-yard line, for defenses to react to. So you got to have a play where you can do some misdirection, get guys moving away from each other and cross their eyes, see if you can pop somebody open.
How big is this play in this game? Wow. Here we go. Thede. He'll roll right. He'll throw. Has a man. Touchdown, Lucas San. Fourth and goal, and Slinger gets 6.
Looked like Zach Orr was in coverage to begin with, coming to the bottom right corner of the end zone. he was talking to the official like he pushed off, and I'm not sure if we're going to replay a shot of that or not, but he got separation. Way to be patient and read, and delivers a spot-on ball.
Son with 4 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Now they will go for the extra point to make it a 3-point game, and Cole Martin bangs that one through. It's going to come right at you.
He just got separation, got himself away from the defender. 2 other receivers coming across, shielding the other defensive backs on their crossing route. A simple throw and catch, right? Made it look easy.
He could have called a fair catch. The Scott Nelson fair catch.
Oh, I did that all the time. I don't want to get hit. That's
Why
scary.
you're smart. I mean, that's a lesson.
I play defense. Like, I'm going to put it in the playmaker's hands. Let them take care of scoring.
I got you. Well, Bill Jacklin feeling a lot better about things. They wouldn't have wanted to go into halftime down 10, but again, they'll receive the second half kick.
And we've had 6 drives and 6 touchdowns. 3 for 3 on each side. That's crazy.
Man. Tell you what, you could punt for either side.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have to do
You
anything.
wouldn't have to do anything.
I know I'd dress warm, that's for sure.
You'd be over at Mickey's Dairy Bar in no time.
That would be all right.
Getting an omelet. All
right.
Scrambler. Oh, yeah, all right. 16 seconds left. Martin kicks it. It'll bounce. And taking it to 33. And good coverage there by the Slinger coverage team. Alexander Ziegelbauer made the tackle. A sure one at that. And now it'll be... Let's see if Rice Lake is content to go in with a 3-point lead. They haven't thrown a pass yet in this game. But they've rushed for 200 yards on the ground.
My guess would be to run another running play if they get something going. They got 2 timeouts left. If they get a really nice gain here, they might call one and try and take a shot. But I wouldn't think they would stray too far from the game plan that we've seen so far today.
Again, Grant Paholke's at quarterback after Jacob Coons was injured, and it will be right up the gut for Lucas Peters, and the seconds are winding down, and Rice Lake won't stop it, so that will be halftime. Division II championship. That was an entertaining first half. Offense, the story of the game, 24-21, Rice Lake at the break. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
It is halftime in our Division II championship game. What a game it's been. Rice Lake has a slim lead, 24-21. Aside from that final kneel down or run play, we had 6 scores in 6 drives. I'm joined by Tom Shafransky, Assistant Director of the WIAA. What a year this has been for high school football. We were just talking about the weather. The games have been great. You must be really pleased with how this has turned out this year.
Nick, we really are. The weather-wise, first of all season long, I can hardly even think of a Friday night all year long where we had any weather conditions to really deal with whatsoever. Our high schools just had a great season all the way around that way. The competitive side of this was just incredible. In the end, we end up here with 6 1 seeds, 6 2 seeds, and a 3 and a 4 seed making it to state. And we had a number 8 seed make it all the way to our state semifinals, or our sectional finals, as we call them. And it's been just fantastic football, competitive football all year long.
Neat to see the medals being handed out, the plaques as we made our road to state. Logistically, just how did things go for your staff this year?
They really went very, very well. Things were very clean. They've been smooth. We have a lot of great people who help us out, and I have to give all of the kudos to all of our athletic directors who are willing to put in time to host those games, some at neutral sites, and then along with that, all of our officials who have been willing to step forward and really provide us with a great opportunity opportunity for our student athletes to show their skills as you're talking about here.
Sounds like numbers are a little bit up, at least when compared to the pandemic years.
Yes, we continue to recover. Obviously, our high school enrollments aren't as large as they were at one time, but we believe that we've gotten over 25,000 boys and girls involved in high school football this year. Now, that includes 11-player and 8-player, and we just are starting to get a trend for girls flag football to really get started in the state that we're extremely happy about, and hope that that's something that our schools bring forward and promote in the years ahead.
You mentioned 8-player. The championship was last weekend.
Yes.
And really, really great season there. Owen Withey winning the title.
Yes.
More and more schools are transitioning to 8-player. What are you seeing there?
Well, we're finding that for small schools in the state of Wisconsin, this is a way that they can maintain the great football traditions that they've had for so many years. It is a struggle with some of the changing dynamics and demographics of our state for some of the smaller school programs to be able to get enough players out for football in this day and age. The issue is all right, there's an option for them, and that's 8-player football that they can take a look at, consider, and see if that's something that might fit their school, their community, and create this kind of enthusiasm for them even more.
This has been so much fun. Congrats on a great fall. Congrats on a great tournament so far. Good luck in the woods. I know you're going to deer camp after the D1 game.
Yeah, looking forward to a little debriefing, in deer camp. Thanks so much, Nick.
Thank you, Tom. Good luck to all the hunters. We'll be back after a message from our local partners. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Slinger High School cheerleading team, led by coaches Amy Bretz and Kathy Kudluba.
Welcome back to Madison. Halftime, Division II championship game. Rice Lake has a 24-21 lead over the Slinger Owls. Rural Mutual Insurance, one of the great partners to make this tournament happen each year, and really all of the sports for high school. I am joined by Jenny Martin, Director of Marketing from Rural Mutual Insurance. Jenny, thank you for the time and for hanging out today. Such a great partnership between the WIAA and Rural Mutual Insurance. Why has that partnership been so fruitful for both sides?
Rural Mutual Insurance only does business in Wisconsin. It's our mission and to protect and support communities to keep Wisconsin strong, and that makes this a natural fit for us.
You've supported high school athletics for decades. Why do you do that, and why has it paid off for you?
You know, from the players on the field to the fans in the stands and the communities back home that are supporting these kids, it's all about community for us. Our agents and our employees, we're Wisconsinites too, so we're cheering right alongside them.
And you sponsor the Sportsmanship Award. You give out the banners. It's always a really fun ceremony when you go into the communities around the state. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's an honor to recognize the schools that display the ultimate in conduct on and off the field with our Rural Mutual Insurance WIAA Sportsmanship Award. And a fun fact, we've been doing it for 59 years.
Outstanding. Jenny, thank you for your time. Thanks for being here today. And thanks for all that Rural Mutual Insurance does. We're going to step aside once more and hear from our network sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station. Welcome back to Madison. What a game so far in this Division II championship. Rice Lake has a 24-21 lead over Slinger. 6 drives, 6 scores until the final plays of the first half. It's been a number of big plays so far today. Jacob Coons getting it started for Rice Lake. Opening drive, touchdown, 8-0 Warriors with 1 possession. Then Slinger got the ball. And Thede with a 1-yard run. 2-point conversion was good. It was 8-8. Here comes Rice Lake again. Lucas Peters, 4-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. 16-8 Rice Lake. Hendricks responding for Slinger with a 1-yard run. 16-14 only because the 2-point conversion was no good. So that's 4 drives, 4 scores. Coons got hurt. Grant Paholke comes in for Rice Lake. He scores. It's 24-14 Warriors. And then just before halftime, Thede to Lucas San on 4th and goal for short touchdown pass, made it 24-21. 6 drives, 6 scores. Rice Lake, no passing yards, and it's been no problem the way they've been able to move the ball. 203 rushing yards so far. Third downs, great for Rice Lake, great for Slinger. The 4th down conversion for the touchdown I just mentioned, I should say. Really balanced. Should be a great second half. We'll have it for you after this. You're watching your WIAA Network Station.
We are nearing the start of the third quarter of our Division II WIAA State Football Championship game, and boy, it's been a fun one. Rice Lake clinging to a 3-point lead against Slinger will get the kickoff to start our second half. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Scott Emmerich. Scott, what do you got for talking to the coaches?
Hey, Jay, first of all, the most pressing news, Rice Lake head coach Dan Hill telling me that his star quarterback, Jacob Coons, has a knee injury as it's suspected. He didn't quite rule him out for the game, but Grant Paholke will be the starter on offense at quarterback coming out of the second half. And I saw Jacob walking around very gingerly on the sideline. So it looks like it's Grant Paholke to start the second half. On the other side, Bill Jacklin of Slinger, he said, defensively, we are struggling up front. We're just not fundamentally sound. The Rice Lake offensive linemen are able to scrape off their blocks and get to the linebackers, and that is allowing some big gains for Rice Lake on offense. So Bill Jacklin will be addressing that here at halftime. And of course, both coaches love their offenses. For Rice Lake, Dan Hill said with Grant Paholke at quarterback, the offense will change slightly. He's not quite the athlete or as fast as Jacob Coons, so he won't be surprised as Slinger tries to make Paholke run the ball a little bit more. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. Yeah, you saw Coons. He could hardly put any weight on that left leg, so he hasn't completely officially been ruled out, but it would be a shock to see him back in there. So, yeah, Paholke there. You see number 2 right there. Watch when he throws. Okay, anyway, well, if you're Rice Lake, we're going to run the football and run it successfully.
Yeah, 3 guys in Durant, Kuntz, and Peters, 203 yards of rushing offense. By the way, that's all the offense that they have.
Correct.
That's all they've needed. So, obviously, a 3-headed monster back there that's doing it very well. And number 37 in Peters is going to end up being a workhorse here in the second half. He's a tremendous athlete. Their go-to guy when they need tough yards, and he's delivered each time.
Many of you know Scott Nelson, the current. He still is a Rose Bowl champion with the Badgers, a defensive back. And when you're a defensive guy and you see the defense not able to stop the offense, does that annoy you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But there's give and take to this too, right? Because at some point you're going to get a stop and you're going to expect your offense to go. We've seen both offenses produce. But either side, it's frustrating, right? I think a lot of what today could be, if somebody does get a stop, then becomes field position, right? We haven't seen a punter yet.
Yeah.
And they're okay with that, the state championship game, not punting. But, yeah, it's frustrating, but you got to try and dial some different things up. We'll see what they come up here in the second half, how they adjusted, maybe some different formations offensively, and what they dial for some pressure defensively.
Jack Larson with a line drive kick. Kobe Hendricks will return it, makes a nice cut, gets to the 30, gets to the 35, over the 40-yard line. Great start to the second half for the Slinger return team.
Well, you talked about momentum at the end of the first half for Slinger to punch it in for a touchdown, or for right at the end of the half. Was it touchdown or field goal? They scored a touchdown or field goal at the end?
Touchdown and extra point.
Okay, sorry. I was surprised when they got a kick, right? But Slinger now comes out with a big return as well. And 3 TDs, 3 drives.
Look at that.
Right? Pretty incredible. I just waited. They would have showed me that graphic, right?
That's right. All right. Michael Thiede out to run the offense again for Slinger. He was 7 of 8 for 108 yards and a touchdown passing in that first half. They start with a give to Santos Rodriguez. Let me ask my defense question to a different way.
Okay.
If the Wisconsin defense, when you were playing, had a half like that, what would Coach Alvarez say?
I can't tell you what he would say. It would go something like, fellas, you got to play better.
Something
and
like that.
A lot more to it, yeah.
Would there be a garbage can kick to that?
He never really got physical with stuff like that, but he got red in the face and would get after it. But the expectation was you come and you play physical football, and if you're not doing your job, they let you know, right? And it's no different in high school. You just have to communicate things to the kids. They're not as experienced and not as talented as guys at the next level. But those guys at the next level have very specific drills and things that they work, and they're focused on one particular position as opposed to playing both sides of the football. So you try and hold up as much as you can. But there's times, too, where your defense is playing great and your offense can't move the ball like we've seen today from these two teams. So there's give and take to all that. You just have to understand that you're playing both sides of the ball. You got teammates with you, and all 11 guys just have to function as one as best you can.
I believe the new term is complementary football.
There you go.
Yeah. Watch this. Nobody's going to score the whole second half.
Right.
All right, 3rd and 2 for Slinger. Thiede will keep it. Thiede will get it first down. He's to the 40. A good slippery run by Michael Thiede for a Slinger first down.
Talked about this earlier with closing ground, like closing the green space between you and the ball carrier. Tanner Kultunski, number 10 off the top side of your screener, just waits and waits instead of continuing to move up and close that angle down, and it allows Thiede to turn the corner. And if you're able to close that, now you got a chance at a tackle at the line of scrimmage as opposed to him slipping for a first.
Evan Strand finally brought Thiede down after a gain of 10 at the 40-yard line. Plus territory for the Slinger offense. Thiede. Now he's going to have to veer to his right. He'll keep it. He'll run out of bounds and gain about 5 or 6.
Good defensive play call by Rice Lake there. They showed a few guys up front looking. They dropped back into zone, only rush 3. Good protection by the Slinger offensive line, but nowhere to go in the back end for a good coverage sack or a little scramble drill for your quarterback. He still gained 5 yards, but great job in the back end of holding up.
Michael Thiede, the co-offensive back of the year in the North Shore Conference. He was in Coach Bill Jacquelin's 4th grade class back in the day. They known each other for a little while. 2nd and 5. This time, Rodriguez. Strong run to the 30. Let's see where they give him the mark. And he's right at the 30. It's going to be a first down Slinger. Oh, Rodriguez is a tough runner.
Really hard when the offensive line up front did a really good job. Just a simple zone blocking scheme. Everybody steps right. The ball's going right. You lock a man on a man. You let your running back work where he can find open holes.
Slinger trying to match their opening drive of the first half. They marched down the field and scored to answer Rice Lake's opening touchdown drive. And now the Owls take the second half kickoff. They're already down to the 30 of Rice Lake. Thiede going for it all for Son. Incomplete. Coverage there from Zach Orr. Yeah, they took a shot.
Don't mind him throwing the football, but Zach Orr does a great job of a quick collision and then running stride per stride with the wide receiver. Son just couldn't get separation from him, and probably a ball that overthrown is a good thing because that could have been easily tipped away for an incomplete pass or possibly intercepted the way that Orr was in coverage.
So no harm done yet for the Slinger offense. 2nd and 10 now as they took a shot on 1st and 10. Now they'll send Hendricks in motion to the left. Thiede throwing and completing. That's Braden Schnorrenberger. First down.
Schnorrenberger does a really good job of recognizing, again, running 3. They're playing zone in the back, and the linebackers drop deep, and he just runs underneath. Makes a pretty simple throw and catch, but a nice play call and a really good job of route running to get open for your quarterback to deliver the shot.
Lucas Peters on coverage was just a half step late. 1st and 10 again for the Slinger Owls. That was their 12th first down of the game. Thiede is 8 of 10 for 118 yards and a touchdown so far. And he looks to throw again, but here comes the pressure. Thiede escapes the first one, but not the second. Down he goes. Zach Orr gets him.
Michael Thiede on the keeper.
Good coverage by Rice Lake. Ran basically a tight trips, tight trio formation. He rolls out. He's looking as a left-handed quarterback. He's visibly seeing the field really well, but everybody's covered. Now quarterbacks can throw the football away nowadays in high school once they're outside the tackle box. This might be one where you just have a quick discussion on the sideline with them. If you get out there, nobody's open, dump it. Instead of losing the 2 yards, just dump it out of the way. We'll line up and play 2nd down, 3rd down, long, short, right, whatever it is. But just deliver the ball out of bounds, and we can line up and play from the line of scrimmage instead of losing yardage.
Loss of 2 on the sack by Zach Orr. 2nd and 12. And the back judge says delay of game against Slinger.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We play second down.
Again, if you're at a game and there's no play clock, but you'll be able to tell when you're getting close.
Yeah, that seemed pretty quick. The back judge puts his hand up when it's at 10, then he counts down the final 5, and as a quarterback, that's where you have to have that sense of urgency. If you see that arm moving from the back judge, you got to get going.
Oh, what a chess match between the two head coaches, Rice Lake's Dan Hill and Slinger's Bill Jacklin. Okay, 2nd and 17 after the 5-yard penalty. Beatty fakes, goes deep again, and incomplete. Chase Leverance wanted a flag, none coming. It's going to be 3rd and 17.
Now the difference in high school football compared to college and pros is there's no face guarding penalty. Right, so as long as you're running with the receiver, you're not moving him off his path. He just got his hands up running stride for stride with him. He doesn't really interfere. He doesn't allow him to come back, but he never made a move to come back. So there's no call in that in high school for face guarding where you'd probably get that in college or pro level.
And all the fans that were booing it, I think, don't realize that. 3rd and 17. A little quick pass to the outside. Leverance got that one, but he's going to be about 10 yards short of a first down. So what do you do here? The field goal would be about 36 yards, 37?
Probably about 37.
37, yeah.
Yep.
It's 4th and 11.
And they're going to try the field goal with Cole Martin.
Wind is lightly blowing into his face. Shouldn't really affect a whole lot. We'll see what kind of contact he gets here. Snap and hold is critical.
From 38 yards. Ooh, he hit it pretty good. And it's good. Cole Martin ties the game with a 38-yard field goal. Yeah, he's happy about it. After a word from our network stations, this is your WIAA network station. The 2024 WIAA Football Championships are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Whoa, what a beautiful shot that is. Camp Randall Stadium, Madison, Wisconsin.
Nice looking crowd from Slinger. They've been vocal at times, happy when their team scored, and they'll let the officials know when they don't like a call. We've seen that a couple times.
Most crowds are not shy about that.
They are not.
Yeah. But they paid their money. They're entitled to it, I guess. There's the guy who kicked the field goal to tie the game, Cole Martin.
For Rice Lake, Connor Durand and Tanner Koltinsky.
He's a 6'1", 205-pound senior, Cole Martin.
No other lineman wanted number 50, so they gave it to the kicker. Don't see that too often on those guys.
He's probably the greatest kicker who's worn number 50 in Slinger history, I imagine. All right, here's the return by Rice Lake. They try that little wedge up the middle again, but this time they break through. And that's Katulski on the return for the Warriors, and they're stopped a little short of where they've been in previous returns. And there you see the Rice Lake drive chart. Boy, the only way they're stopped is at half.
Yeah, that was more on time than anything, right? With 12 seconds left at the end of the half. But yeah, they moved the ball well. They've done it in different capacities in different ways. No passing yards today at all, other than the two-point conversion was the only pass I think we saw from him.
Again, Jacob Coons, the regular quarterback, injured the left knee. So Grant Poholke is going to be the guy getting the snaps. First running play, gains about 4, maybe 5.
Little adrenaline kicking in here for the Slinger Owls after that field goal. You tie things up. Defense is playing a little faster right now in play 1. It's about securing tackles, again, shedding blocks, disengaging, and forcing the running back to just hesitate for a second to allow that pursuit to flow.
4-yard gain on that first one. It was Durand on the carry for the Warriors. This is going the quarterback keeping, and Poholke gains some good yardage. He's going to fall forward to the 36 for a Rice Lake first down.
Lined up with 2 tight ends all across the front there. You got 7 offensive linemen. kind of pick and choose the hole you want to go through and just let a seam open up and hit it as hard as you can. He does that for a first down. Defensively, again, not understanding what you need. They spread out 3 guys. They got nose tackle and 2 tackles outside the offensive tackles, and then you got linebackers in the middle, but creates for a lot of double teams up front when you're trying to get some short yardage conversions.
First down for Rice Lake. Ooh, look out, a little difficulty on the exchange, then a pitch, and they're going to make something out of it. Durand around the right side. He's going to get a first down. Boy, that could have been a mess, but it turns out great for the Warriors.
Yeah, ball security in this type of offense. You'll see him as he tucks it in there. He just hits the tail end of his running back, has the wherewithal to grab that and then get the pitch. Number 8 for Slinger. Retzloff hesitated on the little bobble, thinking it was going to be fumbled, and he was late getting out to the pitch. If he keeps going to the pitch back, that might be trouble for Rice Lake.
That little stutter step got Durand an 18-yard gain. First and 10, Warriors. And the running play again goes to Durand.
Little counter lead up the hole by number 37, Peters. We've seen him make plays defensively and offensively. And then Durand just patient, waiting for those blockers up front to get set up, and nice gain again on first down.
Well, Rice Lake certainly wasn't expecting a change at quarterback, but what do you make of the way Paholke and the offense has run since that change?
I don't know that they've missed a beat a whole lot right now, right? He's showed that he can carry the football, and the guys around him are tested and true all the way through, right? And this is one thing where you got to have your quarterback just do the things you need to do.
Here's Peters, spin move, almost to the 35. They'll mark him at the 36 of Slinger.
He seems very poised back there, like it hadn't phased him at all coming in, right? At least from what I can tell. I think Pachoki does a really good job of getting the snap, getting it to the guys he needs to get to, and as we saw with the touchdown earlier in the first half, he's got a little edge to him as well when he runs the football.
Well, again, he's the starting inside linebacker on defense, so it's not like he comes off the bench cold. So
he's not afraid of contact either, right? Now the difference is, instead of hitting the guy with the ball, you're the one with it.
Rice Lake now 242 yards of rushing, none passing. Peters got about 3 on the first down carry.
On the tackle.
Offense reminds me of years ago, right? John Hoke at Lancaster, the same kind of offense, a quick hit with the fullback, and then you run the wing T option guys around the edge from the wing position. Like, you don't see it very often, so it's hard to defend against when you a lot more spread nowadays, where teams are more comfortable in man coverage and blitzing. But this is a type of offense that can create some trouble.
Same color uniforms as Lancaster too. 2nd and 7. Peters slipped the first tackle, but can't do much more after that. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 for Rice Lake. Lucas Peters, by the way, is going to University of St. Thomas to play football. Minneapolis. Alma mater of our own Bill Brophy, who will be joining me for the Division I final here starting about 4 o'clock. All right, Slinger crowd rises in unison. They want their defense to make a stop under 2 minutes, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 5 from the 31. Pitch. Durand. Boy, he is right at that first down stick, but not quite.
Looks like he's brought down 1 yard short. Stringing it sideline to sideline, and a great job on the back end here. You see in the top part of your screen, the safety comes down hard and makes a huge collision, takes out the blocker, and then you get number 10.
Ethan Plummer.
Ethan Plummer comes up and makes the tackle. Big 4th down play here now for Rice Lake.
They need a yard. Paholke barks out the signals. Look out, play clock winding down. They get it off in time. Peters! A second effort might have got it. Where do they spot it? Oh, man, that is close. Oh, I thought he squirted through at the end, but his knee was down right at the first down line. And he got it. Okay, he did get to the 25-yard line.
I think Peters gets lucky here. Hopefully we can see it. He gets hit, and as he's driving forward, the defender comes in, he stays on top and pushes forward. So unfortunate for Slinger, the defender was underneath him to keep him off the ground. Fortunate for Rice Lake, he gets the first.
Right at the 25-yard line of Slinger. Rice Lake trying to regain the lead. They're going to throw it. Peters is open. He caught it. Makes a spin move, gets to the 13. The first pass of the day for Rice Lake. And it results in a first down. I knew he had to throw it sometime.
At some point.
Done it.
You asked me about defending that type of offense, right? Like, that's where it gets difficult when they're running misdirection. They ran a bunch of different things. They faked the dive. They faked a counter around the backside. And then he leaks out after he takes a fake handoff, and he's out to the outside edge. And the defenders got lost with all that play action going on, so he's wide open free.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. Rice Lake will have it at the 14 when we return. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. We start the fourth quarter all tied, but Rice Lake has it on the Slinger 14. Here are your Rural Road to the States, brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stayed here to keep Wisconsin strong. There's a look at Slinger's Road to States. And now Bill Jacklin wants his defense to rise up. Peters. Lucas Peters gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
5 to the 9-yard line.
Slinger's defensive staff, right? Bend, but don't give up anything big here. Don't give up the touchdown. And on the flip side, Rice Lake is thinking they're bending. Let's break them, right? Just different mentality and approach, the offensive defensive side of the football.
This is an 11-play drive so far. So number 12 is coming up, the longest drive of the day for Rice Lake. 2nd and 5. They can get a first down at the 4. Peters again to the 5. Peters now with 17 carries.
I think he knows he's a workhorse, right? He pops up off the pile. You can see the intensity in his eyes. He looks to the sideline and more or less just give it again. I got this. Let's go. And they've rode him all year long. Might as well do it down here inside the 5.
17 for 79 and a touchdown for Peters. It's 3rd and 1 at the 5. Peters again. He finds a little gap there. Gets the first down. Tackle again by Ethan Plumman, but not before. Rice Lake gets 1st and goal.
Big lineman up front working hard for him to be able to get those extra yardage. They're driving guys back. They're maintaining blocks. And he's just finding pay dirt all the time, right? There's some real estate, not long yardage like we saw in the first couple drives of the game, but he's getting hard yards, and it's wearing down that front for Slinger.
This will be the 14th play of the Rice Lake drive. Why not? Peters again. This time he's strung out a little bit, and down he goes. Kaiden Walworth, Chase Leverance on the stop.
Good job defensively of keeping an outside shoulder and leg free, being able to disengage blocks, and this time instead of getting up the gut, force him sideline to sideline. It allows your defense to pursue a little bit easier.
Oh, those last few yards can be awful tough sometimes,
yards.
Huh?
Everything's bunched up and bottled up. Defensive line understands the sense of urgency. Linebackers flow that much quicker. They're tighter line of scrimmage. A lot can happen.
The 15th play of the drive. Peters one more time. Right guard into the end zone. Touchdown. Rice Lake. Lucas Peters. Knocking on the door, and he busts through it.
Watch this, bodies on bodies, staying engaged, and Peters knows it's not going to take much, right? I got to shoot the seam wherever it is, and foot in the ground, going north and south, and Again, leverage in football is key. Got underneath the shoulder pads of the tacklers and drove them in for 6.
Another big block by Devin Neindorf, 55 for Rice Lake. They'll go for 2, up 6. Paholke fakes the pitch. They look to throw. Now Paholke's going to try and keep it himself, and he's going to be 2 yards short. The Slinger defense comes up with a big play to stop the 2-point try. So Rice Lake gets the lead on a touchdown run by Lucas Peters. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Lucas Peters got the touchdown run to give Rice Lake the lead, but here's how they stopped the 2-point conversion, did Slinger.
Well, try to get a little play action with the slip out here in number 37. Peters tries to leak out to the side, but Ethan Plummer's not having it. Covered the guy they were going to try and get to, and then Caden Reiner, number 15, comes up and makes a big play. Big stop.
What a drive, though. 15 plays, 75 yards, and 8 up. Almost 9 minutes of time and possession. Dan Hill's team now up 6. Line drive Boots going to go to number 2, Santos Rodriguez, and gobbled up just past the 25-yard line. Orr was there. Connor Durand was there. And special teams for Rice Lake.
Jay, I got a quick shout out to some of my students back at Pachter Marsh Middle School.
Oh, there you go.
The house is 6B. Just wanted to say hi to you guys. Hope you're having a great Friday. I am. I know that.
Aren't they done with school yet?
In about a half an hour.
Oh, they still got a half hour?
Yeah.
They let them watch the game on
Well, I don't
school?
know if they're supposed to be, but Mr. Barnett might be letting them do that. Who
Hey,
knows?
he's a good guy. Let him do it. Michael Thiede today, passing 9 of 12 for 124 yards and a touchdown. He's hooked up with Lucas Son 4 times for 58 yards and a score. This will be on the ground, and Kobe Hendricks gets the first down carry to the 30. We approach the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Division II championship. Bayport and Muskego in Division I following this.
Rematch of the 2019 state final, I believe it was.
Exactly.
Back-to-back state titles. That was the second one for Muskego. Guy by the name of Hunter Wooler was a safety back there.
There's the Bayport crew. They're looking up at the scoreboard. They're here early. Coming from the Green Bay area. Thiede will throw a little swing pass to the running back Santos Rodriguez, and he is swarmed down. Connor Durand met him. So was Zach Orr.
Really good job of getting out the outside edge. Blocks by the receivers. And we talked about Slinger number 1, Schorenberg, who had a good block before. The defender just bounced off the top of him. Great pursuit by Connor Durand, beating that block and then going to make a tackle.
3rd and 8. Well, we were wondering which defense was going to step up. Is it going to be the Rice Lake crew? Under 8 minutes, fourth quarter. Thiede doesn't like what he sees yet. Now he'll float back, gets a block. Now he'll run it, and he'll get a first down. Boy, I'm sure it's tempting to let that one fly, but good read there by Thiede.
Well, this is, again, ball security and understanding the situation of a game, where you're at, and a quarterback that you're comfortable with in the pocket that's smart. Right, understanding I can throw it, take a chance, but if I can run it and get the first down, we're going to be better set up that way to continue this drive. And got out of bounds best. We're talking 7:41 left in the fourth quarter. 7:41 in this game is not a lot of time the way these two teams run the football.
Yeah, if you give it up, you might not get it back. 8:49, the last drive for Rice Lake. Thiede to the outside, has a man, Schnorenberg. He has some running room. He's into Rice Lake territory. They'll mark him at the 37.
Get a little bit of zone coverage in the back end by Rice Lake, and this is where you have to train your eyes on the quarterback to see where he's looking. Then you got to take a look at where the receivers are at, and they just let him go, slip to the outside. He kept drifting away from the outside linebacker. Does a really good job of getting and working himself open for his quarterback.
25-yard completion from Thiede to Schnorenberg. 1st and 10. They mark him back at the 38 now. But Slinger into Rice Lake territory. Another throw to the outside. Wow, what a catch by Schnorenberg. Tight coverage there by Koltunsky. But Schnorenberg able to make the reception. Oh, check that. That was Chase Leverance, number 7.
Shielding the defender on his backside and going strong with his hands into his body, quick for ball security. He got driven back about 5 yards, but forward progress puts him at the 30-yard line.
Boy, that was tight coverage.
Really good coverage, good ball, and good catch.
So gain of 8. Hendricks carries. Oh, ball on the ground, and it's recovered by Rice Lake. Huge turn of events. Hendricks looked like he was going to be real close to a first down, and the ball came loose, and Rice Lake recovers, and there's the big defensive play they were looking for. Now a message from your statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. In a game dominated by offense, Rice Lake's defense makes the big play in the game.
Big play by number 17, Pahokee, to knock that football loose. And then guys pursuing to the football as a mad scramble for the fumble recovery. Number 88, Will Johnson, does that for the first turnover of today's game. So far, that's the biggest one. We've seen some great ones, but that's the biggest one.
It's been a great game. Both teams combined for 1 penalty and now only 1 turnover. There's Slinger's defense breaking through to stop the handoff to Peters. That's Caden Reiner making the play.
And we haven't seen a lot of penetration behind the line of scrimmage from the Slinger defense. That time, Reiner does a tremendous job of slipping through the gap, forcing the loss of play. And again, they're going to have to dial it up here. They got to try and keep pushing these guys backwards, prevent the first down. Maybe we'll see our first punt on the day if they can do that. But that was a huge play defensively to come out of the gate.
Grant Pahokee in relief of Jacob Coons, a quarterback for Rice Lake. He's going to milk that clock as much as he can. 6 minutes left. Give to Durand. He's about 2.5 yards short of a first down to the 35.
Too much defensively given up there by Slinger. Again, to run the counter, coming back with the action from the wing. You have to really, really communicate on the backside that he's coming to make sure guys can pursue down.
There you see what's happened all day today, man. It's been a beauty. 3rd and 2 for Rice Lake.
Both teams have adjusted very well defensively. We'll see what Slinger can dial up here with a lot of pressure up front. Everybody all within 10 yards of each other.
Peters.
They get a stop or a fumble.
I think he lost it. He did. Slinger is recovered. The ball came free. Landon Gehring for the Owls. Boy, there was a pile of bodies and the ball came loose. And opportunity knocks for the Slinger Owls. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. Here's that crucial forced fumble by the Slinger defense.
You got to be ready for plays, Jay. Opportunity knocks, number 45. Kyden Walworth comes down, gets his shoulder right on the football, comes out. Then 92, Landon Gehring, Johnny on the spot with the recovery. Big turnover for that Slinger D.
From the 34, they'll pound Santos Rodriguez over right guard. There's some happy Slinger Owl defenders as they make a huge, huge play to give Slinger a golden opportunity on offense. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 at the 30. 4:45 left.
Just need to continue to get some first downs here and keep winding that clock. You drive down, you get a few first downs, you're sitting inside the 10-yard line, Jay. It sets up really well for this Owl offense.
Thede fakes it. He's going to go deep. Has a man open. Caught Schnorenberg inside the 5. No, they mark him at the 6. Oh, clutch throw by Thede. Great catch by Schnorenberg.
Well, they've been leaking out Santos Rodriguez a number of times out of the backfield. This time they fake it to him. The defender comes down and he slips right by. Great pump fake to sell it. Then a tremendous job by Schnorenberg to run and continue to get underneath the football. Looked initially like it may have been a little overthrown with a defender coming in his face. A great grab, great concentration to bring it down at the 6.
Evan Strand, the safety, just couldn't get there in time for Rice Lake. 24-yard gain sets up Slinger at the 6. Thede will keep it. He'll keep going to the 2.
When you don't have to be in a hurry here, you got an offense on Rice Lake. If Slinger's able to punch it in here and get the extra point, go ahead by 1. Then you got a team in Rice Lake that doesn't throw the football a whole lot, right? So you're trying to wind as much time as you can, still with a sense of urgency where you don't want to press yourself a little bit inside the 5-yard line. So again, grind it, get that offensive line lathered up, get them hungry to go and get into the end zone, and then see if your defense can hold one last stop.
Thede got just inside the 3, so it's 2nd and goal after the timeout. That timeout taken by Rice Lake. Well, there's Cole Martin. He kicked a big field goal earlier. They're going to depend on him for a go-ahead extra point. We'll see. He's getting warmed up. Rice Lake is trying to get some history. We mentioned they won the Division III title against Grafton last year. Got moved up to Division II. They're looking to be the 4th team to win consecutive state titles with the 2nd in a higher division. Kimberly did it in Division II in 2013, then Division III in 2014. Excuse me, the other way around, 2 and 3. St. Mary Springs won D6 in 2017, D5 in 2018. Stratford pulled it off this year, winning D6 last year, D5 this year. Here we go, 2nd and goal, Slinger. Whistle. Waiting for the call. The officials will discuss.
Looks like this one was coming from the umpire. Guy that's right behind the linebackers of the defense. Officials on the sideline are coming out to confer as well.
I don't know if they're discussing something with the replay official.
Clock operator.
Oh, clock.
3:33 on the scoreboard.
Okay, they're adjusting the clock to 3:33. Okay.
It's got to reset here offensively. Defensively, you got to be a stone wall, right? You got to be able to block, get off blocks and plug gaps and try and prevent that line from surging.
2.5 yards away from the tying score. Thede has Santos Rodriguez to his left. It'll be Thede. And stretching across, touchdown Slinger! Michael Thede runs it in from 2 yards out. It's all tied, 30-30.
Bring a sniffer around. He's going to follow behind number 44 and Mason Johnson. He didn't have to hit anybody. He got popped. The strength and desire to get in the end zone with the ball coming over the goal line. Comes up limping a little bit after that play, but huge play. None bigger than this extra point right here now for the Owls.
Gavin Braun will hold. Cole Martin will try to put Slinger in front by a point. He does! So Slinger pounces on the turnover, the fumble by Rice Lake, and they pound it in for 7.
Well, the first turnover, Jay, comes from Rice Lake creating an opportunity with a fumble and a recovery, and then
look at Thede hopping around.
He's
he must have got hurt on that touchdown run.
We'll see if we can find it here. He just follows in. He gets down in there. He gets wrapped up a little bit. Yep, rolled up on the tackle.
Well, and 74, Cooper Williams had a great block on that.
He sure did.
And, good job by Braun to get that snap down, and Martin pounds it home.
Yeah, watching Martin even warm up, there's a confidence. Like, this is going to be just a little chip shot, right? Guys do a great job up front making sure there's no penetration to try and get the block, nothing off the edge. He just punches it up and through, and Slinger comes up, just back to that point, Slinger comes up with their own opportunity, right? Sometimes you got to create that on your own with the fumble and fumble recovery, subsequent touchdown drive, and put yourself up 31-30. Now we'll say with 3:29 left in this fourth quarter, that's a lot of time for as quick as Rice Lake can be. They can gash some yards, but they're put in a situation where they're not used to throwing the football, right? There's going to be a little bit different type of offensive play calling. You can't just run it anymore down their throat, because that's what the kind of Slinger's going to be ready for.
Boy, this is great stuff, isn't it?
This is a great game.
If you're from Slinger or Rice Lake or one of their fans, boy, we're thinking of you. Because your stomach's in knots right now.
Yeah.
Wow, booming kick by Martin will get halfway to the end zone. Wow. The 2024 WIAA Football Championships are brought to you by the Wisconsin DOT. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. No one is going anywhere from Camp Randall right now. The Slinger Band getting their fans all riled up. Now, that sign says it all. Go Owls defense. If they can come up with another stop. Well, I'll tell you, Slinger, they won it in 1998. It's been 26 years. They're looking for another one here. But there's a lot of time on the clock. 3:29. Here we go. Pitch to Duran. Gets the edge. Duran cuts back along the sideline. Big run on first down for Connor Duran.
Smart job by Duran, too, to walk down the tightrope, the sideline, and then get out of bounds, preserve a timeout. They got 2 left here in the half, so if you can preserve those as long as you can, that's a really good situation setting up for the Warriors. Just got to try and string them sideline to sideline. Don't let them turn the corner if you're able to on the Owl defense.
17-yard gain for Duran. Paholke rolling, throwing, completing. That's a catch by Evan Strand.
That one's inbounds for 5 yards, 6 yards.
Paholke's 2 for 2 throwing today. How about that?
Yeah. And you don't want to get beat over the top. I'm okay with the defender staying on the top side. We want to keep them inside and in front as long as you can.
2 for 2 for 17 yards. Got 6 on that one. Pitch to Duran. Looks like the same play. Can he get to the outside this time? No, he can't. Great pursuit. And that's that number 10 again, Ethan Plummer.
Plummer does a really good job, but I think number 74, the defensive left tackle, makes this play. He penetrates, forces a hesitation. There's nowhere to go except east and west. Really good job by that young man to string it out and let his defender teammates pursue and force him out.
That's Cooper Williams. Remember, he had the wipeout block on the touchdown run to go ahead. Now he makes a great play defensively.
Right.
Both sides. It is 3rd and 8 for Rice Lake. Timeout, Slinger.
Timeout, Slinger.
That's their first of the half.
Wow. So when we come back, 2:48 left, 3rd and 8 from the 39. We'll stay right here. Well, nobody could stop anybody the first half, but it's been a little different story here in the second.
Right. And 3 drives for Slinger, 3 touchdowns. We'll call it 3.5 drives. Right, for Rice Lake, they had 12 seconds on the one. They scored all 3 times. A little bit different situation here in the second half, which means the adjustments and the things that the coaches and players talked about at halftime have worked to slow down both of these offenses. Now calling this timeout gives yourself a chance to communicate what to expect. Understand it's 3rd and long. We got to make sure they don't get to the 47-yard line defensively, right? Offensively, you're thinking, fellas, we got to get close to give ourselves a chance, at least at 4th and short, if they do get to stop us. But making sure guys are all on the same page, right? That's the communication that has to happen between coach and player.
Well, there's Rice Lake's quarterback, Jacob Coons, who suffered looked like a pretty serious injury. All he can do is watch. 3rd and 8. Paholke has 10 tackles on defense And now he's the quarterback. He's going to throw. Oh, threw it behind the intended target, Zach Orr. It's 4th and 8 for the Warriors.
Well, as a linebacker, right, he's had a tremendous performance. Here's a chance of throwing him in a situation. They don't pass a lot, throws a little behind. He did have pressure in his face, so he had to deliver it quick, but just a little bit behind his receiver. Couldn't adjust in route on the slant.
First incompletion of the day for Rice Lake. Coons didn't throw a pass before he got hurt. Paholke is 2 of 3 for 17. Here it is. State championship on the line. 4th and 8 for Rice Lake. Here comes the pressure. Paholke rolling. Got hit as he threw. Incomplete. There is a flag on the play right where Paholke threw the pass.
I think they're going to get a hold on the left side of the offensive line, basically tackled him. At least that's what I saw. And then an incomplete pass. If that's the case, they're going to decline it, and it'll be turnover on downs.
The Slinger defense is celebrating.
Holding on the offense. Penalties declined.
You had to hold your breath, a possible late hit or strong hit against the quarterback, but you're right. It was a holding call, and Slinger will take over on downs.
We'll see it on the right side of your screen here as he starts to scramble out. Number 45 there basically just gets tackled all the way through. Pretty good acting job as well. That late hit probably wasn't late. Ball was still in his hand.
Late,
it looked different in live, right?
But you had to hold your breath. In fact, one of the Slinger linemen had his hands on his head saying, "Oh my goodness, don't call roughing." All right, they still have to kill 2:37 here. Both teams with 2 timeouts. They'll start it with a run to Kobe Hendrick. Let's see where Dan Hill wants to use those timeouts. He'll take one here. 2:31 on the clock.
Rice Lake.
Ball security, obviously, Captain Obvious here, is extremely important for Slinger right now. You don't want to give up a cheap one. Secure the football. Doesn't matter if you go down. Rice Lake has only one more timeout left in this half. You still want to try and get some positive yardage. So if you got to get the first down here, right? You just got to give yourself an opportunity. But ball security is paramount.
And for all we talked about offense, Slinger defense got the fumble recovery. They get the stop on downs.
Right.
At critical times.
Yeah, and could have gone very easily the other way with the turnover that Rice Lake created, right? Even against Slinger, and they were able to get a stop, and that was huge.
Yeah. Creating
the turnover on successive series.
17 seniors on the Rice Lake roster.
You feel bad for Kuntz not being able to be out there with his guys, but they're battling for him with everything they've got.
All right, down to 1 timeout remaining for Rice Lake. They absolutely cannot give up a first down here. They'll run it again.
Take their final timeout here.
Timeout, Rice Lake. That was their 3rd and final timeout.
Okay. 3rd and 6 coming up. Scott, the question has been raised. Do you even think about passing it on 3rd and 6?
I don't think that I would. Right here, especially the way the thing's been going. This is one where we might see the first punt of the day, pin him deep.
What?
And force him to go 80, 90 yards without a timeout.
Dede's is 12 of 15 for 191 and a touchdown.
This is where the coaches make their money.
This is where fans are told to not say anything, right?
Well, this is kind of if you pass it, what were we doing? If you run it, you don't get it, what were we doing? Right? There's not really a win-win call here for people.
Slinger has had 3 different guys with 11 rushing attempts today. Thede is 11 for 48. Rodriguez is 11 for 43, and Hendricks is 11 for 39. Oh, goodness, Dan Hill, a big play here for his defense. 3rd and 6 from the 35. A stop here gives Rice Lake a chance. Direct snap to Kobe Hendricks. And he bounces off a couple tacklers. I think he's got it.
Official puts it just inside the 30-yard line, maybe a yard short.
That's close. Boy, Hendricks did a great job of getting to the edge, didn't he?
Tremendous.
Oh, they're going to say he's about a half yard short. Wow. Now what do you do?
Trying to get to the side. Evan Strand, number 7, does a really good job of beating the block. Just couldn't wrap up the tackle.
Lucas Peters might have saved the game.
Agreed. Never give up on the play.
Ooh, boy,
that's
he
going to
might
be
have
closer
stretched
to the.
that out.
Yeah, they might be taking a look at this again.
Wow.
Yeah, that last shot in slow-mo where we saw it, his hand extends out. I don't think he was down either when that ball reached the 29-yard line.
So another question is, can they look at it on replay?
Well, that's probably a discussion that's happening right now.
No, look at this. We got zoomed in a little bit. You see the first down marker that falls.
Peters' contact there. Knee is not down yet. Not down yet. Right there.
Man.
But he's just shy of the 29-yard line. I think that's going to stand for a 4th down. Great effort on all parts, defensively and offensively, trying to get it and prevent it.
Kobe Hendricks trying to stretch out and get a critical first down. Otherwise, it's going to be 4th and about a half a yard.
But I don't think you gain much here by punting. I would guess their offensive line would come on. We're just going to get behind. Maybe they even get under center and have the old tush-push, right, like you were talking earlier.
You see there's still a discussion here. They're still looking at things.
This is where it's a little bit different for high school athletes, right? You don't get this otherwise. So now you're pausing action for a replay that you're not used to.
And if it is, in fact, 4th and short, no way you're throwing it.
No way you're throwing it.
No way you're throwing it. There's where the spot is.
And you might even take a chance of trying to draw him off sides, get underneath there and do a hard count, see if you can get him to jump, and that ends the game.
Yeah. Oh, we saw that happen.
The runner was a half a yard short, but his knee landed inbounds, so the clock will start.
Ooh. Clock will start.
So they can wind another 25 seconds down.
And try and draw him off. Well, we saw it in an NFL game.
Yeah.
Washington Commanders jumped at this same kind of situation.
So if we look at the run on the outside,
the clock to 2:20,
where he comes down, they're talking a half a yard short, and they need to respot that football because it's not quite where he went on, where it was down.
Well,
it looks like they just moved it forward 6 inches.
Yeah.
But they'll take it.
All right, here it is. Oh, they got a big lineman in there, and Gehring is going to get the first down. Landon Gehring, 5'10", 255. He bulls his way forward.
Well,
how about that?
He's an eligible number to begin with. He got him big behind. He comes up with a fumble recovery, and he gets the biggest carry of the game for Slinger on a 4th and short.
Let me tell you a story. His dad was on the team that won the state tournament in 1998. He carried the ball a couple of times earlier this season. At the conference call we had the other night, I asked Coach, do you think you'd give it to him again? And he went, oh, maybe.
Well, there's your answer.
And he gives it to him at the biggest time of the game. Couple of kneel downs for Slinger. Clock will wind with 1:30 left. Landon Gehring. Boy, what a story he's going to tell.
Big smile on that young man's face for sure.
And a direct snap. Remember the Bears handed it off to the lineman, how bad that turned out?
Yeah.
Well, Gehring's got some hands.
He's like a mini fridge.
And I tell you what, full head of steam, good luck trying to tackle him down. All right, now it's time for your Wisconsin DOT play of the game. Do you think Landon Gehring at the start of the day thought he'd be the play of the game?
I don't think he would have been. You see how fired up their other offensive linemen are, and the guys leading out there. That's a big load to tackle. I wouldn't want to be a defensive back on the end of that tackle.
That was your Wisconsin DOT play of the game. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives.
They need one more kneel down, and that'll be it.
Wow. And I'll tell you what, give a lot of credit to Rice Lake. They changed conferences. They were moved up a division. They got to the state championship game, but the gold trophy is going back to Slinger. Final seconds winding down. Their defense made big stops. And their big guy made the first down. And Bill Jacklin, the Slinger Owls, are Division II state champions. Back to talk with the star of the game and see the award is now a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. Wins the Division II championship. Let's go down to the field. Scott Emmerich with Michael Feedy.
Michael, you guys just won your first state title since 1998, and a lot of drama out there in the fourth quarter. Put it into words what it means to you.
I mean, it means everything to this team, for our coaches, for all the for all the community. I mean, that's the biggest students, or the biggest fans I've ever seen in my life. So it's pretty cool. It's awesome.
I know you want to go celebrate with your team. Go out and have some fun, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, guys, back over to you.
And Scott, you were struck with not only the joy of the Slinger sideline, but the absolute deflation on the Rice Lake group.
Yeah, it's hard. Both teams put up 45 points in the first half. Just a tremendous output, scoring left and right with their offenses, and only 10 points, 16 points in the second half. So defense has got it corrected, but Rice Lake did all they could. They lost their star quarterback in Coons. Another guy comes in with Pahokee and does a great job, but Slinger just found a way to answer a turnover with a turnover and got the score. Just tremendous effort on both parts, on both sides of the field here today.
Slinger wins it 31-30. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
It's all over. Slinger wins a thriller over Rice Lake 31-30 to claim the Division II championship. There is the hardware, that gold ball, the first for Slinger since 1998. The Owls complete an undefeated season, and they are your Division II champions. Congratulations to Slinger. Congratulations to Rice Lake as well. Taking a look back at this game, I mean, it started with all the scoring, right? The first 6 drives resulted in touchdowns. Defense came up big late with a couple of fumbles. But in the end, Slinger with the late score to surge ahead and win it 31-30. Your Division II champions, the Owls. Stay tuned for the D1 game coming up at 4 o'clock. We'll see you shortly.
The 2024 WIAA State Football Championships have been brought to you statewide by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, reminding you to look for the Proudly Wisconsin badge to know you're getting the best quality and supporting local dairy farms. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Rural Mutual Insurance Company. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. A proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for over 50 years. Unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program and live internet stream without the express written consent of Allen Media Group, Wisconsin Broadcast Division is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law.